Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would greatly appreciate if you want to support me, if you want to support the channel, if you would consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps to get the videos out there and it inspires me to keep creating. Welcome back to another pop culture chat with Lex segment. As I told you guys last week, this is not necessarily going to be a normal facet on the channel, but if I have something to talk about, I think we can expect to do these on Mondays, just get some stuff out. Obviously, yesterday was the Super Bowl, so there was a lot of chatter, a lot of talk, a lot of debate on Kendrick's performance. So we are definitely going to touch on that, as well as the fact that Kanye crashed out again last night and then decided he was going to leave Twitter. I refuse to call it X. And lastly, Amanda Seales decides to give some background on what actually happened with her and Issa. And I did an Amanda Seales video on my channel way back when. So I thought it would be a good update. But, anyways, let's get into this halftime show. I feel like this was one of the most divisive halftime shows and one of the most anticipated halftime shows. Obviously, we were very much expecting a lot to come out of this. I think number one, Kendrick is a rap artist. And I think that the Super Bowl is notoriously known for having very sanitized performers. I think there's a lot of Katy Perry's, Maroon 5's, Coldplay's, and there's a reason why they put those people up because that music is generally looked at as acceptable for the masses. That music is generally looked at as acceptable for a program of this size, whereas Black music has always been pigeonholed into kind of a niche, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, whether it's rap. They're always pigeonholed into this, oh, that's not for us, that's not for me, oh no, that's not relatable for anybody who's not Black. And I think it was amazing to see a rap performer get this stage. I think rap also is notoriously known for not being the best performance. I think that people often think that the pop girlies kill it, Beyonce or people like Usher. They really kill it on stage, whereas rappers are not necessarily given that same view. So I thought it was very interesting to see how the reception to Kendrick was going to be on this show. So let's jump in. First and foremost, I loved the set. Okay, I love the set, and let me go ahead and share my screen real quick because I love the set. I thought the set was. Let me add myself back. First and foremost, to all the haters in the chat, how can you not say the choreo was amazing? I was telling my husband last night that I did not think that there was going to be dancers. I did not think that he was going to have full choreo. I don't know what I was expecting, but obviously here we see the GNX. Everybody coming out of the GNX, I was feeling that. I was feeling that so much. The PlayStation controller. I feel like this went over so many people's heads. The PlayStation controller. How this is all a game. This is all a game. And Kendrick won the game. If you were looking at the crowd, it said game over. I hope they have it here. The red, white, and blue. But look at Kendrick in the middle, right? You have this red, white, and blue, this flag, but they're divided, and Kendrick is in the middle of that division. Again, split country. How insane is that to be doing that in front of y'all president? Because that ain't my president, but y'all president. Kendrick did that. Amazing. Amazing. I love the dancers, by the way. The dancers were so on point. I love the diverse group of dancers he had. Samuel L. Jackson being Uncle Sam is something that I feel like is a bit under, like, we ain't talking enough about the fact that Samuel L. Jackson was Uncle Sam. And I thought it was funny. I thought his little quips were funny. Once again, we see Kendrick in the middle of the red, white, and blue, that split. More pictures. Look at the stage. And I like again how it was a PlayStation controller. I was hoping they would show the game over. SZA. SZA came out okay, and that live track sounded good because I know SZA was not singing for. Look, I be dragging SZA, but I'm actually going to the Grand National Tour. I have not seen SZA live before, but the clips of SZA live and what I've heard from others, SZA has an interesting run performing live. So we shall see how that goes in the Grand National Tour. But I love that he brought out SZA. I was really, really hoping he was going to bring out Doechii, but I think that was a little bit of wishful thinking. But we got our girl SZA, best BBL in the industry. Don't at me. And then we had Miss Serena Williams Crip walk in, and I was like, hold up now, what we doing? And did you guys notice that Serena had on the blue and then SZA had on the red, red, white, and blue? But, Serena Williams Crip walking was not on my bingo card, so that was very interesting. And then he also brought out Mustard. But that is amazing. That is amazing. Look, I think that Kendrick was always going to be under high scrutiny for this performance. I just feel like that is the way it's going to go. He was always going to be under high scrutiny. I feel like Black performers are put under this extreme microphone where all of a sudden we expect that Super Bowl performances are supposed to be the pinnacle of your career. I just thought it was very weird. I think Kendrick did a great job. I think especially for being a rap artist and I think again rap is not necessarily known for big extravagant choreo filled performances. I think part of rap is that it's very like I'm going to pick up the mic and I'm just going to spit something and that's going to carry me. And I think there's something to be said for that. I think there's a lot of talent in that because we cannot deny that there are a lot of artists out there, especially a lot of these pop girlies, who the choreography carries them. So I thought it was pretty amazing that he was able to do that. Let's get into a little bit of what the internet is saying about this performance because again, very divisive performance, and I'll sprinkle my thoughts in as we watch. So let's start off with none other than I think you guys will like this one. Let's start off with none other than this guy. Oh, was terrible. Let's jump in.
songs. The white people at the Super Bowl party that I was with, he may as well have been speaking Mandarin. All right, because nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew what he was rapping about outside of Not Like Us, obviously. But nobody knows these songs. Second of all, Blickety Black Black, I'm so much blacker than you. Halftime shows are very passe. Like that stuff peaked in the BLM era. It's very not of this moment. It very much does not work. And also, it's been done better. So at this point, nobody cares. Third of all, 43-year-old mother of two, Serena Williams, in a bad blonde wig, like crip walking, is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for her. She should be embarrassed for herself. It's just all really, really passe. There is nothing about that halftime performance that worked. So, what I need to tell the NFL, Rock Nation, anybody's doing that Super Bowl, try to make a show that's for all of America because that was not for all of America. That was for like a fringe that knows Kendrick Lamar and that knows, his reps. Like, you're not going to tell me that that man is mainstream, that this is some mainstream superstar whose songs everybody knows, because I am telling you, the people that I was with, those white people at this place that I was with were looking at each other like, they didn't know what was going on. All right. I didn't know what was going on. It was whack. It was boring. It wasn't cool. Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack.
Okay. All right. Enough of this, man. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, I want to know why this man believes that the metric of whether Kendrick's performance, was good enough is the white people at the event that he was at. Now, I don't know about y'all, but last time I checked, just because your friends or your pals don't know about Kendrick does not mean that Kendrick is not a big performer. Now, I'm going to say something. Do I think that Kendrick was a choice? Yes, I do. As I said, again, I think the Super Bowl tends to pick very sanitized people. Katy Perry's, the Maroon 5s, the Beyoncé's, the Ushers, the Rihannas, people who have a lot of these radio hits. Kendrick also has radio hits. And one of the big critiques that I gave of this performance is that I think that Kendrick leaned very heavy into songs related to the rap beef. He leaned very heavy into performing songs from GNX, which is his newest work, rather than performing his well-known stuff, Swimming Pools, All Right, things like that. And I understand that, yes, Not Like Us is maybe the biggest song ever at this point. I think All the Stars was another good choice. But I do agree that the track listing was a bit interesting, especially considering, as I said, he did focus a lot on newer music that people just may not know. That being said, I think songs like Luther are huge, especially with the Luther Vandross sample. That was very big. All of the Stars, Not Like Us, Squabble Up. I think those songs now have become radio friendly, TV friendly, commercial friendly. But if I was Kendrick, I would have probably skewed a little bit more towards performing some of the hits. But I understood what he was doing. I understood what he was doing. I think that I saw somewhere best that the fan service was on point. If you understood the rap beef, if you have been following the rap beef, this was vindication for you. Okay, when he looked into that microphone and called out Drake, I was screaming. But I do think that, yes, if we're thinking in terms of the Super Bowl, are some of the song choices the best ones? Should he have included other songs? Maybe. Now, do I agree with this guy that Kendrick is not well known? Nobody knows Kendrick. The general public has no idea who Kendrick is? No, I don't. Okay. After Beyonce won Album of the Year, we saw very similar stuff where all of a sudden people are acting brand new, like they ain't never heard of Beyonce in their entire life. So I think it is very, again, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, this pigeonholing Black artists into this, like, oh, you're Black, so only Black people know your music, or only a select few know your music. It's crazy. The man has a Pulitzer Prize. He has 5 Grammys. Like, people know who Kendrick is. So I don't agree with this. I also think this man is it rhymes with spoon. It rhymes with spoon. Um, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him. I think also the argument that like they should have chose somebody else is crazy because Kendrick had an insane year. I feel like no matter who you are, Not Like Us. You knew what was going on. So I don't agree that Kendrick was not a good choice. I think Kendrick arguably had one of the biggest years last year. They can't have Beyonce for every show. They can't have Coldplay for every single show. All right, let's go on to the next one. Some more interesting takes on this halftime show. Let me get my tabs arranged. Let's close this one out and let's go on to the next one here. All right, there we go. So I included this because, again, there was a lot of talk online about how quiet the crowd was. One of the biggest arguments that I saw was the audio was terrible, the crowd was quiet, they were adding fake crowd noise. So this video, you could clearly tell, was taken by somebody in the stadium, okay? And they heard people singing along. When he said certified, certified lover boy, certified, okay, you heard them say it. You heard the A minor. A lot of people are critiquing this performance for the audio. And again, Super Bowl performances, when are they known for having great audio? Yes, if you're Beyonce, sure. If you're The Weeknd, maybe. But at the end of the day, Super Bowl performances have always been notoriously known for having terrible audio on stream. They put up a stage in like 5 minutes. They put up the audio system in like 5 minutes during the halftime show. And then they always edit it so the YouTube playback is way, 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 way better. But also, just kind of the lies that the crowd wasn't singing, the crowd wasn't engaged, things as such. And again, do I think that the pop girlies and people like Usher will have, everybody just kind of bopping and dancing? Of course. Of course. Their music is very well known. But to say that Kendrick's biggest hits, especially some of the ones that he played in this performance, are not well known, it's just flat out lies. It's flat out lies. Let's keep going. All right. So I liked this video because this girl broke down a lot of the symbolism. I gave some little nuggets, but she broke down the symbolism very, very well. So let's jump in. All right. I'll have to read them to you. So she said the dancers all come from the same car but end up separated, and they all come together to form the American flag, the A minor chain. But this was known, actually revealed to be a PG Lang chain, but it could also be an A minor chain. Only the people in the inner circle survive. See, everybody's off. Some people are taking steps back while others are taking steps forward, I think is another big one. Because again, in this country right now, there are some people going forward and a lot of people going back. Samuel L. Jackson being Uncle Sam, the personification of the United States, telling him his music is too loud, reckless, and ghetto. And again, that is a lot of the criticism we see, that rap music or hip hop cannot be elegant enough, it cannot be respectable enough that it can be on a program of this platform. The stage being shaped like a video game, yeah, it's a PlayStation controller. Game over. There we go. As I was saying, the game over symbolism, again, can have so many different interpretations. If you're looking at the rap beef, obviously, game over, Drake, I won. But also, game over can be a discussion about the political system and some of the messages that he's put out there. The revolution about to be televised. You picked the wrong time, the right time, but the wrong guy. Because again, that was another big complaint I saw, that people were claiming that he was going to pop out and be more political, that he was going to pop out and make such a big statement, and that instead he kind of pandered to the crowd. And I don't agree. I think, first off, guys, the Super Bowl is censored. Look at the music. He had to censor so much of the music already. But second of all, there's no way that this man is going to come on the most watched program of the year and be able to say some radical, crazy, left wing stuff, and that stuff's not getting cut. Period. I just don't know what people thought this was about to be. Okay. So, again, so much symbolism within the performance. I think a lot of the symbolism went over a lot of people's heads. Let's keep going. Alrighty.
No, they not like us. What? They not like us. No, they not like us. No, they not like.
Now, I had to put this one up because my girl Serena crib walking is crazy. I don't know. Allegedly, she and Drake dated. I think that having Serena up on the stage as a special guest was crazy work. I was not, as I said, that was not on the bingo card for this to see Serena crib walking. So I had to include that one. Let's go into the next one. So now, these are from the haters. These are supposedly people that claim they were at the performance. And this is how the crowd supposedly was. Let's jump in.
I'm Team Drake. Team Drake, love you.
One. Let's go into the next one. Let me present. Next one. All right. All right. So let's get back into it. So, what are my thoughts on Kendrick's performance? Because I gave a little bit of my thoughts, but I didn't give all of my thoughts. Do I think that Kendrick was the best halftime show performer? No. I like Kendrick. I like GNX. I am going to the Grand National Tour. Do I think that Kendrick was the best halftime show performer? Not really. If I'm being completely honest, I think that neither Kendrick nor SZA are the best live performers. Is Kendrick someone that commands a crowd, gets the crowd involved, gets the crowd hyped, gets the crowd going? I don't think so. I don't think that Kendrick himself is somebody who, you know, really manages the stage and maintains the stage and maintains the stadium. I don't think so. As someone who's been to over 50 concerts at this point, I think there are artists that are amazing performers and they know how to work the room and get the room going. Do I think that's a speech on Kendrick's talent? Absolutely not. I think he is a very talented guy. As I said, I am going to the tour because I think that GNX was great. I am excited. I think SZA is another person who we know stage presence is not the best. I think another big problem with the performance, once again, is that I think the song selection was not the best. I think he played certain songs that people just didn't know. And again, that's not a speech on, oh my God, Kendrick's not popular, no one knows him. At the end of the day, every artist has songs from their discography that are very popular and some songs that are not that popular. And I think that a lot of this performance was an FU to Drake, which I think vindicated, amazing. Imagine the end of the rap beef. Your win is getting a Grammy and performing on the Super Bowl. Like, if you're Drake, you're probably at home crying right now. You probably are in hiding. But I think in reality, when we're talking about the Super Bowl, this is a show where the vast majority of people are not going to be aware of those kinds of things. When you're performing on a show of this stage, you need to be performing the hits. You need to be performing the music that people know. You put All Right on there, people gonna say, oh yeah, I know that from that commercial. I know that from the TV show. Things like that. Do I think he performed some popular songs? Yes. Do I think that a lot of this was also just kind of like trying to make a statement? Yes. And I think sometimes making a statement is great. It's amazing. People like me love that stuff. But the average Super Bowl watcher, I don't think they love that stuff, unfortunately. So for me, I think that Kendrick did okay. I think, as I said, as a performer, maybe he's like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 performer. I think the choreography carried a lot of this performance. performance. I got to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to talk about the audio issues and things like that because one, I watched it on Tubi and there was no audio issues. Maybe on Fox News, I heard there was a lot of issues there. So I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but I think as a performer, I would give him a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I think the breath control is all right. I think same with SZA, 6 or 7 out of 10. The choreographers, I give a 10 out of 10. I think they did a phenomenal job. Once again, the set listing, it's not the set listing I would have chosen. So I can understand why some people feel that it it wasn't the best performance. Do I think it was terrible? Do I think that this means that rappers are never going to be chosen again for the Super Bowl halftime show? Do I think this means that all black artists are doomed and we should never expect to be? No. I think that's crazy. I think that's absolute craziness. But I do think that Kendrick, he was a little the ego was a little up there, understandably so, and I think because of that he didn't really think it through for what the audience watching the Super Bowl would have liked. Because I think that another thing to remember is that the audience watching the Super Bowl is not you and I who have been following the beef avidly since it happened. So that's kind of my take on it. I think it was probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10 performance. I don't think it was horrible. I think he could have done a little better. But what I did love was the choreography, the symbolism. That I'm giving a 9.5. I think it was great. That all made sense. But when it comes to the Super Bowl, people want like a Coldplay performance with pyrotechnics everywhere, and I'm at a payphone. Is that Coldplay? Or is that Maroon 5? I don't know, but they want that stuff. That's just the reality. They want that stuff. And I think Kendrick could have done that if he put some of his other songs in there. Anyway, let's continue. Kanye. Well, no. Before we get to Kanye, y'all president got booed last night. Let's jump into it. Y'all president got booed last night. He got booed, and Fox News tried to cover it up. Let's get it.
So apparently the crowd booed the president at the Super Bowl, and Fox replaced the audio of them booing with cheering. I don't know about y'all, but that's a little bit terrifying to me. A little bit.
Y'all president was getting booed last night. Okay, I missed this part on Tubi. I think I tuned in a little bit too late, but you could hear the boos in her TikTok. How terrifying is that? As she said, that is terrifying to walk on stage and the president of the United States is getting mass booed. This country's cooked, y'all. Let's keep going. So Kanye crashed out. I am not about to read all of his tweets, but Kanye crashed out yet again last night. So let's talk about it. He crashed out. More Kanye crash outs. So Kanye West quits X after posting Super Bowl rant about Taylor Swift. I appreciate Elon for allowing me to vent, wrote West. This is an independent article. So Kanye West has deleted his account from X/Twitter after he posted a rant about Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl and thanked Elon Musk for allowing him to vent. On Friday, February 7th, a string of posts shared from his X account included the declaration. I'm not reading that out loud. Y'all can read the screen. So, the 47-year-old, also known as Ye, now appears to have deleted his account after continuing to post during Sunday's Super Bowl event. He wrote, I'm logging out of Twitter. I appreciate Elon for allowing me to vent. It has been very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board. It was like an ayahuasca trip. Love all of you who gave me your energy and attention. Till we connect again, good afternoon and good night. During the Super Bowl, which included Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, West also posted a rant about Swift, who was in the New Orleans Superdome to support her boyfriend Travis Kelce, who plays for the Chiefs. While appearing to talk about Lamar's song Not Like Us, West said, if it's about the culture, Why are we letting Taylor Swift be seen on TV singing a song about taking a black man down and accusing of things that can take a black man down for life? Reacting to West leaving X, Piers Morgan wrote, so disappointed that Kanye West has deleted his X account, said nobody. From genius rap superstar to, I'm not saying that word, vile, racist, anti-Semitic, misogynist, violence-inducing troll. What a sad, pathetic downfall. Swift was booed by Philadelphia Eagles fans whenever she was shown on the big screen during the game. That is true. Can I even play the video? Is there a video here? Okay. Yes. So Kanye crashed out again. And I'm going to be honest. For those people who are always screaming about cancel culture is not real. Because this man, Kanye, is constantly on y'all's screens. And y'all see him crash out, have these manic episodes, act like an awful, horrible person, and you're still waiting for the album. But honestly, the person who I really felt kind of bad for was Taylor Swift. And I don't like Taylor Swift. Y'all know I don't like Taylor Swift. No, no, no. But I felt bad for her because they were booing her. Even the president was tweeting about how Taylor Swift was getting booed. MAGA for life or something. And I'm like, excuse me? The president of the United States is bullying a pop star? Y'all president is doing that? So I felt really bad for Taylor Swift because honestly, nobody really deserves that. She was not doing anything. She was just standing there in the stands defending her boyfriend, and nobody really had to treat her that way. But once again, Kanye, after another attention seeking rant, has deleted his account. He's probably dropping an album soon, and y'all are probably going to listen to that joint. Next story and last story, Amanda Seales. Y'all's favorite. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Let me stop saying y'all. Amanda Seales. Let me close out some tabs real quick. All right. So Amanda Seales decided that she was going to let us know what really happened between her and Issa Rae, why they stopped talking. It's a BuzzFeed article. I know BuzzFeed is kind of like the pits of journalism, but you know, it gets the point done. So Amanda Seales revealed the moment she stopped talking to Issa Rae, and it's getting a bit messy. Amanda Seales revealed why she stopped talking to Issa Rae, and it's really unfortunate to say the least. So as we know, they starred along each other in Insecure for 5 seasons. Now, in a recent episode of Black Church Owns the Proud Boys, literally posted on her YouTube channel, Amanda Seales TV, she shared that their working relationship ended when she stopped talking to Issa. For context, during her appearance on Club Shay Shay, and I did do a video about this previously, I'll see if I can link it in the cards, Amanda shared how Issa was allegedly involved in her difficulty finding work after Insecure. I've never talked about this publicly because it's always been incredibly important for me to protect Issa, she said, because I know that Issa is doing something within this business that so few people get to do. However, there's just been enough instances at this point where I should have been protected by Issa and I wasn't. I want to point out something very basic. How can I be a mean girl on a set that ain't my set? She said to Shannon on the podcast. And if you're not familiar, Amanda Seales has gotten a rep of being difficult. We've seen Amanda Seales come online screaming on Instagram. When I used to follow her on Instagram, she used to have these stories where she would be doing the most. And honestly, look, I'm all for being an advocate. I'm all for speaking up. I had this period of time in my life where I felt like I needed to, scream until I turned blue about things. But sometimes the way you approach things and the way you present yourself and the way you approach others, especially if you're approaching others in an abrasive way, can rub them the wrong way. And it's not always racism. Sometimes it is genuinely just the way you're approaching people. Amanda has an abrasive personality, and I'm not saying that that means that she should be shunned, ousted, sent hate, or whatever. But I do think that she has to have a recognition that certain people are not going to find that pleasurable to work with. On top of the fact that many, many people that Amanda has worked with have said that she is not that pleasant to work with. So I don't know. Let's keep going. A few months later, in audio obtained by the Breakfast Club, Issa seemingly addressed Amanda's comments at a VRA Presents event for her sparkling wine brand. When asked who is the person she would never work with again, she said, I mean, anyone who goes on a podcast and talks ish about me. And I do think it is kind of unprofessional to talk ish about your boss, somebody who platformed you. You were an actress on her show. I did think it was distasteful at the time, I'll be honest. I've had great experiences with everybody I've worked with for the most part, so I'm always grateful when people come back, Issa added in the obtained audio for the event. So during her YouTube episode, Amanda elaborated on the onset moment that made her specifically stop speaking with Issa. While discussing a review for another TV show, she asked Issa, who was reading the review aloud, a question to which she replied, why don't you just read it yourself, according to Amanda. And that was the last day, Amanda said, because I had taken so much weirdness for the past 5 seasons, and it was the last season. And I just said, you know what? I don't got to take this no more. I don't know who the F you're talking to. I don't even know why you're addressing me this way. I have never spoken to her again. Now, I feel like with this entire thing, context is very important. I think that we know that Amanda had a lot of issues when she was working on Insecure. There were a lot of issues working with her. She was very difficult to work with. And Amanda is somebody where we don't see a lot of self reflection. So it's very hard to hear things like this and be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened to her. That being said, if Issa really did come at her with some bite like that, that's kind of crazy. But to me, I just don't really believe that Issa came out of nowhere with some bite. In addition to that, she now states, that's the last time I ever spoke to her. Why didn't you pull her aside? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you pull her aside? And then kind of the next time you're talking about her, you're talking about her on an interview with Shannon Sharp. And even on the Shannon Sharp interview, we saw the way Amanda is. Amanda is somebody that is not very easy to talk to. I think it's hard to get a lot of words in with Amanda. And again, I think Amanda is someone that lacks self-reflection. It is sad to see, that a relationship as such, this business relationship, and even possibly this potential friendship or what's the word I'm looking for? This potential friendship or this potential cordial relationship was tarnished. But at the same time, I just think that Amanda has this track record of being on bad terms with everyone she works with. And I just, sometimes you have to realize when you are the problem. But anyway, I think we are going to end the pop culture chat here. So if you made it to this point of the video, that means you liked the video. So I would greatly appreciate if you would support the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps to get the videos out there and it inspires me to keep creating. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.